y'all, I am Hope here at Crafty Hope. Welcome! It is time for the week 46. Is it 46? I think it's 46. Y'all, it keeps getting away from me because I'm like, how are we on 46? But it's time for the week 46 mixed media prompt card for hashtag Crafty Hope prompts. As I am Crafty Hope, this is a challenge I created for myself. I started back in October using a regular deck of playing cards and a list of 156 prompts. Basically, that means that there are 52 weeks in a year and 52 cards in a deck, and I have 3 prompts per week. So each Monday, I pull 3 prompts from my list and use those prompts to alter a regular playing card, like so, both sides into a prompt card, so that one side has a decorative side and one side has my prompts. I use the prompts to alter these sides so that I am using those prompts. But then on Saturday of each week, I take those 3 prompts and do another project. So those prompts get a good workout. And I do all kinds of things I just did an art journal page, but I've also done junk journal pages and spreads. I've done tags and bookmarks and jewelry and assemblage projects and wall art and all kinds of stuff. I have a full playlist at the end of the cards and the art, and other people who've played along, so you can go down that playlist and see what all I've created as well as what other people have done. Anyway, this is the card I created for week 45 using the prompts Receipt, Crackle Paste, and Green. So that's my latest. And yeah, it's time to draw the week 46 prompts. If you have any questions about any of that, please let me know. And if you want to play along, don't worry about the fact that I'm on week 46. If this challenge inspires you in some way, or if the prompts do, please just go for it. Don't think you have to go back to week 1, or you can start your own week 1 right now. I have all 156 prompts in a link below for you, and you can print that out and use them any way you want. I just ask that you use the hashtag CraftyHopePrompts and tag me so that I can see how you got inspired by these. Okay guys, let's go ahead and draw these. Like I said, if you have questions, let me know. I may not have covered it all. I feel like sometimes, because I do that whole introduction every time, that maybe I've said everything, and sometimes I haven't. So let me know. All right, our first prompt is going to be, I think I've got 2 here. Let's see. Our first prompt is ribbon. All right, that can be fun. So any kind of ribbon, you can use a paper ribbon or regular ribbon. If you want to use like the ribbon on a typewriter somehow, or a picture of ribbon, or any kind of ribbon that you can think of. If you've got suggestions for any of these, let me know. And if you don't have ribbon, think about different decorative twines or things like that that you could use. If you've got like a snippet roll that you want to snip something off of, that could be a type of ribbon. So think on that. Ribbon. All right. Prompt number 2 again. I think I've got more than one here. They stack themselves. All right. White marker. All right, that is fairly easy. That's mostly going to be a paint marker, like a paint pen, but I do have, where is it? Here it is. This is from the Dollar Tree, and it says metallic marker, but it is white. But you could also use a white pen or any kind of white media. You can even use a white China marker. That counts as a white marker. So think about those kind of things, just some kind of white writing tool. And if you don't have any of that, white paint would work fine with like a thin paintbrush. That would work similarly to using like a white paint pen. All right, and prompt number 3. Did I get a single one this time? I did. No, I didn't. All right. It's gonna be colored pencil. So that is fairly easy. Any kind of colored pencil would work. I have regular ones. I've got highlighter ones. I have just bought this set of metallic and fluorescent ones. But so any kind of color pencil. I even have these, I think also at the Dollar Tree, and I think they're pencils for like correcting student paperwork because it's just a single red pencil. So ribbon, white marker, and colored pencil. We all should have something we could do with that. I'm gonna go, I think I'm gonna go grab a couple things in it. I may have gone a little nuts gathering things. Okay, for ribbon, I went into one of my, I don't know, 3, 4 stashes of ribbons and pulled out most of my ribbons. I do thrift. I don't tend to buy new ribbon. So what I did gather, I first went for this, which I just think I showed in a thrift haul. And it's some kind of, I don't know, it says decorator ribbon. And it's like a fabric-y, I don't know. It's blue with flowers on it. So I grabbed that. This I also just got on clearance. I don't know if that was in that haul or in the next one. But it's like a chiffon see-through ribbon with these marks on it. And I thought that was fun. And this was also bought at clearance. And it's a white ribbon with a stitch. But then I remembered again that hand-dyed ribbon that Terry made for me with, well, she did make it for me. She made it and sent it to me. But it's done with alcohol inks on this really nice, I don't even know what kind of ribbon it is. Terry can tell us below in the comment box. I'm sure she will. So that is right. It's like seam binding. That can't be great. I don't know what it is. And then from Paper Cat Studio, when I thought of Terry's handmade ribbon, I remembered this cotton ribbon I have from Paper Cat's Studio. I will link her as well. She has an Etsy shop, and these are all handmade ribbons that are torn and not as recycled materials. So I have these like cotton ribbons as well. So I have my choice of ribbons. For a white marker, I pulled out a Posca paint pen, a Sharpie paint pen, this metallic marker, and my China marker. Easy peasy. And then for colored pencils, so like I said, I've got these that I just thrifted. I have my big batch of Crayola colored pencils. I have some Prismacolor colored pencils, and then I have, and you know, I don't use colored, but I want to use colored pencils, and that's why that's on this list. I have this batch that I picked up somewhere. I think they're metallic, but I'm not positive, and it's Kelly Creates is the brand. I picked it up, I believe, at TJ Maxx. Not TJ Maxx. Tuesday morning. So that is what I have gathered. Now I have no room on here. I had a, what do you call it? A paper clip here a second ago. I'm going to clip these together and get started on this card. Oh, also, I may go ahead and actually, before I get started, Betty had asked about sanding the cards as a prep. So I'm going to do that real quick. I have a sanding block here. This is the, sure, maybe, I don't know. It's one from the Dollar Tree. I'm not positive that this is the fine. There's like a medium fine and a medium coarse one. And I think this might be the medium fine one, but I can't tell right now. And Betty, all I do is I take my sanding block and I rough it up. I rough up the card, trying to get that plastic coating off of there. I don't really like doing it with these cards because it makes them so thin. But once you add other layers of things, it does thicken up once. So this is all I'm doing. And then I'll flip it over to the other side and do the same thing. And this just helps it, except, oh, see, I've rubbed a hole almost straight through. I rubbed it too hard because I'm using that rougher side. You just have to be a little careful. But I can do this and then add whatever I want to the top of it. Like so. Just be careful because you may rub a hole in it. But this has made it a little more thin and floppy than I would normally like. And I tend to like starting with collage anyway because it gives all that yummy texture. So that's it, how I start these. Since I did sand that down and remove some of the plastic coating on that card, I'm using my Uhu glue stick to collage down a bit of dictionary paper. This is thin paper, and I really probably could have used something thicker since I did thin out the card by sanding it. It's fine though. It was sitting there. I had it left over from my Seek, Gather, Create that I just made. And I was like, you know what? It's sitting here. I'm going to use this dictionary paper. So, and like I said, it worked fine with the Oohoo because it is sanded. I mean, I think I could probably still glue onto the card with the Oohoo. It just, it's not as effective. I tend to prefer using like a matte gel medium or something if that plastic coating is on there. So giving it a bit of tooth by sanding it works great. So I hope that answered your questions, Betty, or anybody else that was wondering about sanding a card. Unfortunately, I did not feel like trying to put paint on it at this time. I wanted to get straight to my prompts. So I'm covering up the card because I don't really care for the face of the card. I really just want it as a substrate, not so much as a, hey, look, this is a card. So I am going to add a few more layers on both sides of these. This side is getting like strips and whatnot. It's getting more added to it. The other one I'm just going to add a little bit because on the bottom of it, I tore it too close and I wanted to make sure I covered everything up. So, and I am using a gift card to kind of flatten everything down. At some point in here, I can't remember where, I don't think I got enough, like I think that piece right there especially didn't get enough glue on it, and I'll have to glue it back down during the process. So yeah, so this side I'm just trying to add a little bit right down there at the bottom, and for some reason I'm adding my glue to the card instead of to the paper. I guess there is because I didn't want to use the whole piece of paper, and I don't know why I was being stingy with the paper. I do, since the sanding block is sitting there, I do try to get some of the excess off with it, but I really need it. I think that is the medium coarse one. I should have gone and looked at my little bucket to see if I had the medium fine one. But I'll just trim it with my scissors. And y'all, I had so much stuff on my desk. I was so pinned into this one little space. It's since been cleaned. So I just had a lot of projects going on over the space of a little bit of time. So I decided to start with like a pop of color and scribble on some of that fluorescent. And then this is a Faber-Castell highlighter pencil that I bought in a kit. And so I'm just putting some pink scribbles on there as a start, and decided let me dip into my Crayola ones with a different color. And I've got this like teal or turquoise blue that I'm doing a little bit of marking. I think I ended up just scribbling it too. I think I made some big marks on it. And I didn't think about it at the time when I pulled the prompts, but I don't know, colored pencil and white marker are kind of difficult together. So I'm going to have to think on how I want to do this for my project, but it may not be as hard on like maybe an art journal page or something like that for the card. It was a little more difficult. So I've got that Posca pen, which is just about empty, y'all. I can't even get the little ball to rattle in there. I may need to go get a new color. What is that thing? Paint pen. But I got, just kind of scribbly on there, and I felt like I needed something else. So I have this, what is it, like wilted lilac or something? Shaded lilac. And one of my hand-carved hand-carved stamps. And I just to get a little additional texture and color on there, I felt like this light violet went well with the pink and blue that were on there. So I'm going to move that around just a little bit, as I like to do with my stamps. And then I'm putting a little bit of the ink on some acetate to add some splatter, because that's what I do. And I think I'm going to dry this real quick since it's all nice and wet. And I think from there I flip over to the other side. To think about it for a little bit. So one of the things with using a white marker is putting it on that dictionary paper. It doesn't show up very well, so I knew I kind of wanted something that would show up better. So I'm going to bring in some darker watercolor in a second to see if that works better, but I'm going to think on this a bit for my project. For now, I'm going to go ahead and draw kind of a spindly botanical-ish thing on my card using my Prismacolor pencils. And y'all, when I put this Prismacolor, it reminds me why I love the Prismacolor so much. They are like soft and silky and really good quality colored pencils. And I kind of hoard them because because they are so nice. So I've got that drawing on there in I think it's like a yellow ochre color. And now I'm putting down some Payne's gray watercolor. I really kind of want to see if the colored pencil would act as like a resist on the card before I put the watercolor down, and it didn't. No, not really. Once I dry this, though, of course, the watercolor lightens so I can see my little drawing a little bit better, and I decided to come in with my Sharpie paint pen there and just highlight the little buds I made on the flowers. And it's funny because I just watched the Seek Gather Create from Nina Fickett, and she had some little bud-like flowers, and I did this before I ever even saw her video, and I think it's really funny that mine is so similar to her little drawings too. Isn't that funny? Anyway, I used that metallic. I'm kind of just flipping through the colored pencils, trying them all out, seeing how some of them do. This one's more metallic. The other one was a blue metallic, and it didn't do much, but this, neither does this gold metallic. But I'm just trying it out. I'm playing with my pencils, trying to think on it. It's really hard to see. I think that's going to be a problem, is that I need like a dark surface for the white paint pen, but then I need a light surface for the colored pencil. So it's definitely something I'm going to have to think on for the project, and I'm looking forward to seeing how y'all tackle these 3 prompts. So you can see I'm kind of going through all my different, I tried that metallic marker, I'm trying the China marker. None of it's really showing up in a way that's making a difference. But you know what? That China marker would definitely act as a resist with some watercolor. So that's an idea there. So now I know I've brought in, the other 2 prompts. It's time to start thinking about the ribbon, and with the pastel-y colors I've kind of got going on this side, I thought this yellow would be really nice. And so I thought that was nice. And then for the other side, I was thinking maybe this chiffon-y one, but also maybe this handmade one from Terry for the ribbon. And so I'm just kind of messing with this. I was thinking maybe I would run it through my sewing machine to attach it, but first I really wanted to finish how this card looks. I was like, I really need to bring something darker in here with the colored pencils. So I grabbed what I thought was I thought it was black, but once I put it down, I realized no, it's indigo blue. So it's almost like that same Payne's gray, and I just used it as a shadow-ish on my little botanicals, and it turned out beautifully. You'll be able to see a little bit better in my close-up photos. So as I'm coming toward where I want to finish up on this, I darkened up all the edges with walnut stain distress ink, and I'm playing with that indigo colored pencil again, giving it, you can start to see that come together a bit more. And I'll go back in to make sure my little white paint pen dots are showing up on there. And so I'm thinking about this. I'm going to start looking, I think, at the ribbon a little bit more here. I really thought I'm going to go ahead and cut this chiffon-y ribbon down. I really thought I was going to use it and go to my sewing machine, but I decided I was really, really overthinking it, and for a prompt card, didn't need it to be that much of a big deal. So I'm going to cut down that ribbon from Terry as well. I really love that these 2 kind of match each other, though, or go well enough together. But I thought I was going to stack it, but it was all getting real fiddly. And I was like, y'all, I do not need my prompt card to be this complex. These are supposed to be quick little throw the prompts at the card and make something with it and think it through, so that when it comes time to do the project, I'll have a better feel of how these prompts work together. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to use Terry's bit of ribbon. So I grabbed my Fabri-Tac, put a little down the side of my card, and I'm sticking that ribbon down. I knew I wanted to add something a little bit more to it, so I'll put a sentiment on there in just a little bit. I've got to think on that. I didn't want to cover up all of my botanicals, and so I come back in and I looked at a couple different things and nothing seemed right. So I started flipping through these little snippets of things I've cut out from other places, stamps and found words and book pages and all kinds of stuff, and album titles are a lot of them. And so this, I think, is an album title or something. It's called Fancy Meeting You Here, and it's on a piece of like index card, but I'm cutting it down and I will ink the edges of it also so that it gets that trace, so it's not so stark, for one thing, and so that it has that same walnut stain on it as the edges of the card. And I think from there, what did I glue it down with? I'm trying to remember. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, the Fabri-Tac. Yep, because it's there. It's open. I'm going to stick that just across the bottom. I really thought I was going to cut it down and put it like down the edge of the ribbon, but I really liked how it looked just across the bottom. To give it a little bit of shadow, I pull out that indigo pencil again and underline it just for a tad of its own shadow. So now it's time to work on my functional side, and what did I do? I decided, I'm tapping those fingers, I'm thinking, so I go ahead and just ink the edges of it. Just busy hands. I gotta have busy hands. And I was really struggling with this one. So I was like, okay, do I want to use this fabric? I was like, no, I really like that yellow fabric. So I go ahead and I cut down all of my words so that they're not so bulky. And I needed a touch of darkness on there, so I've got my Stabilo all pencil that I've got a wet paintbrush. I'm just kind of flicking it from the tip of the Stabilo all onto my card, and I will dry this real quick once I've moved my prompt words out of the way. And I don't know what I'm looking for. I keep opening that little bag like I'm going to pull something out of it. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So I decided I'm going to use the ribbon here to underline each of my prompt words. So I'm putting down just a little bit of the Fabri-Tac and sticking the ribbon in it, laying it as flat as I can get it because I don't want these cards to be super bulky. And once it is laying down, I'm going to grab the first prompt there. And I hope I got these prompts in the right order. Somehow when I moved them, I was afraid I got them out of order, and it's been a thing for me, but I'm hoping this is the right order. I'm pretty sure it is. And I'm going to do the same thing again. Put Fabri-Tac down, stick my ribbon in, trim it, and then stick down my prompt. And then I'll do it one more time for the last one, which is colored pencil. And once I get these down, I start looking at it, and it feels awful flat. It feels like you can't really tell that the colored pencil is there or that the white marker is there, and that I need to do something more. So I'm going to play just a little bit with it. I'm going to go a little crazy. Just a little crazy. So I thought about it for a minute. What would stand out? I'm going to flip through these colored pencils. What would stand out on this card? What color am I missing? So I decide what I'm missing is an orange. So I pull out those Prismacolors and I find the brightest orange I can. And I'm just making an arc over each of these prompts. And once I make it, I'm like, okay, it needs more. It needs more orange. So I'm going to draw lines out. So it almost looks like a sunrise or something. But 3 of them, like some crazy distant planet. And so I've got that. I'm like, that's nice, but let's bring some more of the white marker in. So I will pick up that Sharpie again and make dots in between each of those lines that I've drawn on there. And for even more, I'm going to put a bunch of lines down at the bottom of the card just to kind of fill up that space. And there you can see my marker and the crayons a bit more. So I'll write the number 46 up there and be done with this card at long last. I can't wait to see how y'all tackle these. I hope you like this. If you did, make sure to give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and let me know if you have any questions. I would be happy to answer them. All right, guys, thanks so much for coming by and watching. I will see y'all later. Bye.